everyone, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10ish-minute reaction. Not out of the theater review, but it's pretty close. I saw this in Dallas a couple of days ago, so I wanted to get this one done because it's a relatively new movie. And first of all, I want to thank all of you, over 740 something subscribers. Slowed down a little bit. We hit a little lull, but that's okay. I got a lot of stuff coming out. I think might generate some subs, some interest. So we will see. But I thank all of you who continue to watch and continue to give me recommendations that there is no way I can watch in the next week. Just so you know. I'm trying to watch as many as I can. And I just so happened I was in Dallas for work doing some training, and my hotel was in this plaza kind of, and right across the street was a movie theater. So I looked up what was playing, and to my delight, well, prior to going to my delight, the film Deva was playing in the theater. So I went to the theater. So that is going to be the movie I review today. Deva, which was released in 2025, and it's directed by Rosshan, and it stars Shahid Kapoor, who I've seen in a lot of stuff. Haider, Jersey, Kabir Singh. I like him. Pooja Hegde, who was in Rangasthalam. Kubbra Sait, who was in Sacred Games, Sultan, Gully Boy. Pavail, Gulati, and Praveesh Farhan. Now, I did a trailer reaction for this, and I might as well just tell you right up front, I thought the trailer was better than the film. So that kind of will give you an idea what I thought of the film. Now, this I did not know till I did my research. It was a remake of Mumbai Police from 2013, which, if I'm not mistaken, was directed by the same director. And this was a very interesting film. And the trailer really did not do anything to kind of explain the plot of this film. So the story is about a cop, an angry cop, a boss, I guess, his commanding officer, and he says, "I solved the murder. I know who did it." And then he gets in an accident and he loses his memory, which I had no idea that was going to be part of this because I have not seen Mumbai Police. So then it flashes back to who this guy is, and it opens up once you get past the accident, and then they show the village celebrating his death. And he awakes with amnesia. But then the first song is a flashback in his introduction. It's a great production number. The song is actually pretty cool, and Shahid Kapoor can move, and it's a pretty cool number. And then, you know, again, this is through flashbacks. They keep saying, "Are you police or are you mafia?" And at some point, he even says, "I'm mafia." So so they kind of explain to you who he is, and he's got two brothers. He calls them. One is his commanding officer. One is a fellow police officer. And at some point, and again, I'm not going to get into huge detail on this because it's a relatively new movie, and I should tell you this. Yeah, there's going to be spoilers. Now, this movie's been out for a little bit, so if you haven't seen it, you don't want to watch this, okay? So I'll give you 5 seconds to look away, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so he ends up, and there's a pretty cool scene where he's going after this big bad and take credit for it. Give him the gun, because he used his gun. And ends up getting killed, sniper. So there's a big thing around that. So he's trying to solve the murder, and then he has this accident after he supposedly solved it, and there's a mistress, there's another cop's daughter that he's in love with, that whole thing. A little hot too, a little hot and heavy for one of these films, for an Indian film. Then when he gets amnesia, so there's Dev A, who is pre-accident, and then there's Dev B, post-accident. And Dev B doesn't remember anything and doesn't know how bad Dev A is, and then is trying to solve the murder of his friend because he's still a good investigator. He just doesn't remember all the details, and that was probably the most interesting part of the film. And then he ends up solving the murder. And I kind of this was very predictable, I thought, in the opening scene. The way he played it, that he ends up being the murderer of his friend. And it ends up that he's a really bad cop. Dev A, not Dev B, because Dev B is a different person. So he ends up going to jail. He solves his own murder. He ends up going to jail. And his friend, his commanding officer, his other brother, is the one that has to put him in jail. That's really the story. Now, I'm going to say I'll give the story a 3 because it was actually 2 different stories. There was a story about a dirty, tough, aggressive cop, and then the second half was, Memento. It was Amnesia or Gunji, is that what it's called, with Amir Khan, trying to recreate everything with his memory gone. So the story was a 3. I thought it was, it wasn't, it lulled a little bit, but I'll give it a 3. Now, as far as the performances go, this was strange because so I saw this in the movie theater and I was not the only one. There was 6 of us. And I have to say, the 5 people that were behind me never stopped talking the whole time. And there was dialogue that was pretty cringe in this. And by cringe, I don't mean woke or anything like that. It was just ridiculous. Like at one point, Rosshan is asking a woman to marry him. And he says to her, "I'm putting you under arrest." And she's looking at him. "Why?" "You stole my heart." Well, the guys behind me all groaned. And I was like, oh my God. It was just lame. I'm sorry. It was. There was a couple of lines, especially from Rosshan, that were just pretty lame. Now, the performances. Look, this film is Kapoor's film. I don't, he's trying to pretend like he hasn't lost his memory, even though he has. And then as he comes to the realization of who he really is. So the performance is really, really strong. The rest of the performances, like Pooja is gorgeous. But she was, she was okay. The guy who played his commander, I thought was pretty good. Rosshan, he was, I wasn't a big fan of his. And the bad guy in the first part of the movie, the bad guy, I thought, for a bad guy, he was good. But it's Kapoor's film. So I'm going to give the performances a 4 because of him. He really was good. And there wasn't a ton of action in this, but the action that was there, he was very good in it. The fight scenes were good. There just weren't a lot of them. So maybe this was more a psychological drama, but based on the trail, I thought it was going to be a lot of action. There wasn't, now as far as the music goes, there wasn't a ton of music. They had that one big number. I thought the incidental music would fit the movie well. There wasn't a lot of big Bollywood numbers other than the introduction of his character, which I thought was good. I actually liked it. But I'll give the music a 3. My verdict, this is a tough one. Having now seen it, I would have preferred streaming it. It wasn't worth going to the movie theater because it just wasn't, I don't know. It was okay. It was kind of I liked the second half a lot more than the first half. The second half, when he's trying to reconstruct everything and you're trying to figure out who did it, even though I kind of knew. But I still liked the way they did that and the way he portrayed it. And then, they do a little stinger at the end where he's in prison and some cop is going in there to mess with the prisoners and he starts getting beat up. And then Deva B shows up and starts kicking ass with his sunglasses and his cigarette. He smokes a lot in this film. So I guess because of how much I enjoyed his performance, I'll give it a 3. Um, I mean, that's, I based on the trailer, I thought it would have been better. I mean, it did drag, and it took a while for things to really get going. I mean, like, I should probably. There's a few things in there. Um, oh yeah, that's what he said. I'm sorry, it's not Roshan. I've been saying Roshan. Rohan. The line is, okay. This is the line. I'm arresting you for stealing my heart. You just groaned. I heard you groan. It was cringe. Then he does this thing. This was funny. I did like this. He's serving a warrant to this. I don't know what he was. I think he was. He's a politician, but he's a dirty politician. So he wants to serve him a warrant. So the guy's making some speech, and at the back of the audience, he hops up on a car, takes the warrant, and starts kind of humping it. And he starts doing this. He's doing this, and I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that in Indian films. It was pretty good. I'm in performances. I got to backtrack a little. There's a scene where they get this sniper from prison to come in to try to help them understand how Rohan was killed. And that guy was great. I don't know who he is. I'm sure he's somebody that I should know, and it was a special cameo. But that scene was really funny, and he was really good in it. So I will say that was great. But that's it. I mean, I was a little disappointed. I was really looking forward to that, and I thought it was like kismet that the movie theater was right there. But it was okay. Wasn't great. A 3 is pretty average, if you ask me, because I've been really liking a lot of the movies I've seen lately. But if you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comment section. I know Gully Singh's not going to like this because, we complain when there's too much over-the-top action. And the action was pretty grounded in this. I just didn't think there was enough of it. That's kind of how I felt. And I really liked his character till you find out what a scumbag the guy is. And I'm almost tempted to see Mumbai Police. Now, I understand that it's almost a shot-for-shot remake, with the exception that I guess the motive for the murder, one is about homosexuality, where this one was about something else, not that. So they decided to go a different route with that. But I think I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that one and see what that one's like. But that's what I think. So you guys let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and as always, share, because we're trying to hit that magic 1,000K, and it's slowing down. I need you to do that because it's the only way we can push this out. Excuse me, YouTube can push it out. You guys are already doing that, but YouTube can start pushing it out. Okay, so that's it. So we'll see you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with another 10ish-minute review or 10ish-minute trailer reaction. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Zubi dooby zubi dooby nache kyun pagal stupid man. Zubi dooby pam para zubi dooby param pam. Zubi dooby